mention that he just completely treats Jen like she's a sex slave.
Oh my
Thing
god.
is, let me just say, personally, I think that maybe Jen really does need to... I know that she was trying to get material for you, Realm, but I feel like, you know, a line has to be drawn and she has to say, okay, that's enough, I'm tired of being treated this way, so I'm going to cut off all contact from you in every single place.
Well, the thing is, Scarlet, she's acting like lately she actually has been being more blunt with Kenshi, saying she doesn't want to do this kind of thing. Like, she actually took one of her characters and made her into an exotic dancer, and Kenshi bitched because she wasn't a whore anymore, and Jen was like, I just don't want to do it anymore. And of course, Kenshi was moaning and bitching at her, saying, you didn't used to be like this. You used to be a better person in the past. Which is funny because it's like, he'll moan and bitch about how I was a different person back in the day when I wasn't, or Jen, because, oh, she was different back in the day. Yet, when you bring up Kenshi's past, he'll moan and bitch at you and go, no, I've changed, but it's like, no the fuck you haven't.
How have you changed? You haven't.
Changing your underwear does not count.
You.
Realm, get in the box.
I'm already in the box.
Get further in the box!
I'm already deep enough as it is. My ass is touching the floor of the box.
Then dig a fucking hole. Here's a shovel.
Ah, okay. Yeah, while I do agree with you, yeah, I can't completely let Jen off the hook completely because it's like, yeah, she is kind of letting it happen, but at the same time, Kenshi's still kind of a douchebag for, like, because what he likes doing with people, he likes to exploit their weaknesses just to completely use them in his own way. Like, there's a person in the RP chat he's in named Leo, and most of the time, whenever he leaves, when Kenshi rage quits from the conversation, he will guilt trip Leo to adding him back in. And the reason he does this is because he knows the people's weaknesses and how he can make them stumble to his pretentious needs. And it's like, I'm sorry, Kenshi, you're going to criticize me for being harsh when you use people to your advantage just to make yourself look good. Screw you.
Oh, and it gets worse. And I believe Mr.SirRaven wanted to cover this part the
Oh
most.
my god, yes. One of the reasons why SirRaven wanted to be in this
Oh
follow-up
my
video.
god.
Okay,
This-
everyone, set the mood, play the sad music, and just let's make this serious now.
Do you want me to set this up, Rome?
Go right ahead. You were the one who wanted to talk about this.
Okay, so this was a conversation with right or
Yeah, it was.
you heard
It was,
from.
with, it was with.
So, anyways, Realm apparently told me that apparently Wit had gotten some very horrible news. Was that his had set him down, and apparently that his had been raped, which is very traumatic. That's a very traumatic experience. And he didn't know what to do, so he wanted to go online and he wanted to talk with someone about it. Reasonable. And Kenshi just so happened to be the first person that he saw online. Already, that's a bad move. But you know what? He was in an emotional state. Kenshi was there, and he wanted to talk his feelings out. So, you know, he wanted to just talk to him about it, and he told Kenshi, and Kenshi's solution for this was that he wanted to do a rape RP.
And his reason for wanting to subject him to that is because how will you know what your mother went through if you don't experience it? I am not shitting you. That is exactly what he said.
And here's the thing, and this is a serious personal message to Kenshi, and this is probably the angriest I'm ever going to get, because to be honest, this is the absolute worst thing I think I've ever heard this year. This is worse than anything I've heard from about Lyric Shooter. This is worse than hearing anything that involved the Hero Tomorrow. This is worse than hearing any of the drama that has gone on between ZM and his friends. This is worse than anything I've heard Dammy do this year. This is the absolute rock bottom of news, of humanity I've gotten this year. Where do you get off?
And it's like, my problem with this is that he's not, I get the feeling that he's not trying to do this to help. He was doing it to basically satisfy his own needs. And it's like, I'm sorry, your friend here, who sticks his neck out for you, for mostly anything you need him for, went through something rather traumatic, and you're going to basically make a solution which involves making it worse? You're a fucking scumbag.
I don't understand how this would help him either. I'm sorry, Kenshi, but, you know, here's the thing. when
No,
people...
Raven, don't be sorry. Don't.
When I say sorry, I mean that I'm not sorry, you're a horrible person. The thing is that when people go through very traumatic things, like let's say someone went through, a horrible car crash, the solution is to not force them to go driving again. Or, let's say if I heard that, my parents, they were shot down, I don't know, there was a drive-by shooting, they were in a bad neighborhood, and they got shot. And then your solution is, let's go take me to a movie where, a gangster movie where people get shot. It's like, yeah, that's a totally good idea, right? No. The thing of it is that he came to you in a moment of weakness. He just wanted someone to talk to. And you wanted to do a rape RP. Oh, let's clarify exactly what he wants to do it too. I believe it involved, 2 school-age children, exact words, it was a Lugia hermaphrodite.
No, it was a hermaphrodite Latias.
Latias, that's it.
Of course, it's the female Pokemon.
So that's not there's so many things wrong with that, but just the main thing is the fact that he came to you and he wanted to talk to you about something very serious, and you didn't even take it you didn't take it seriously. You just wanted to please yourself. And then when he said no because he was uncomfortable with it, which to be honest, I think everyone would be uncomfortable with, you got mad at him. Like, how dare you?
What's even worse is that it's like, honestly, I don't blame people who get awkward every time he wants to do some kind of sexual thing, because it's like, the last minute, like, one of the biggest things that he got Jen into was apparently drugging her up with magic and then just fucking her drunk body.
Okay.
Like, what?
Okay, I gotta say something here. I've had friends that were raped. Friends that have gone through something as traumatizing as rape. It's not something that can be laughed at. It's not something that is gonna go away in a year or two. It's there for life.
Pretty much, and it's like, it's not really helping when you try to make the guy live through the same thing, and it's like, and you guys aren't the only people.
He doesn't even need to live through it, because it's traumatizing enough that his actually is being traumatized by something that has happened to her.
You guys aren't the only ones who got disgusted by this. There was another chat where I was in where he basically told people all of this, and there was this guy who was going, who the hell does that? That ain't even funny, and honestly, it kind of isn't. It's not funny at all.
Literally, this story, when I heard it, it isn't funny. It isn't. And, and the thing is for as much as, as Kenshi relies on and how much he bitches about him, it's like, well, shit. It's like, do you see the shit you're doing to him?
And it's like, I get conversations from that one RP chat that he's in where he's constantly bitching about how, oh, all people do is just rage and yell at me. Well, no shit. You are an arrogant fucking prick. People don't like that with people.
When you act like a complete asshole, and when you say the things that you have said, it's like, what do you expect? What did you honestly expect, Kenshi?
Exactly. I mean, it's like, if you're going to be an asshole, expect other people to treat you the same, because, it's like, there is a golden rule that goes, treat others the way you want to be treated. If you want to be looked at as an asshole, then guess what? Get prepared for the butt rape you're about to receive from other people who are also real assholes.
And then the thing, too, is the fact that you're talking with people, too, that just won't take your crap. And the fact is that you act like a complete ass, and yet you whine about, all this stuff. It's like, oh, geez, sorry, Kenshi. If you're going to be this all-tough asshole, it's like, well, then, you should kind of follow through with it. If you're going to act like one, then you should know that people are going to be mad with you. Yeah. If you don't act like this, then don't act like such a dick.
Yeah, if you don't want this kind of shit, then quit being such a douchebag about it. And it's like, Kenshi will what the funniest part, too, is that, Kenshi will also go on about how, oh, people say that they can't take my crap, but guess what? I can't take their crap. And it's like, that's one of the reasons why people look at you and go, you are a fucking lost cause.
And it's sad, just to bring it up again, and the thing is that I don't want Kenshi to be a lost cause because I'm scared for his sister.
Exactly. I am too. I mean, from the way that he's been talking about the whole rape thing, as well as everything else, again, I'm worried for her, because She lives with him!
He basically got on your ass for that because it's like, really? Who are you to worry about people in my life?
It became my business when you put it on the fucking internet.
Well, when you basically tell it to people in public in general. Like, that's the thing. He puts most of this shit in public, where anyone can get access to it. And he wonders why people think he's a creep.
It's like the show What Would You Do, where the actors say, oh, well, why don't you just mind your own business? It is our business because you're doing it in public.
Exactly, and he also brings up how, I just wish people would go back to the days of the internet where you could say, I don't give a shit, and they will believe it, when it's like, I'm sorry, what time of the internet was that a thing? People have always went by that logic, even during the days of Boomstick.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I remember bringing this up to you before, Raven. It's like, you brought up, it's basically the indifference fallacy, and he's implementing it at full force.
It is, and he's guilty of it constantly.
Yeah, but yeah, he constantly denies it and blames it on others and blames other people for doing it. And yeah, that is basically a thing. When something goes wrong, he will basically flip the truth around just to make it feel like he was the one getting antagonized and that it was other people's fault for making him the way he is. When it's like, I'm sorry, what the fuck did these people do? Be honest with you? That's stupid.
You're the only one that actually made yourself the way that you are. Only you can change you, not everyone else.
It's just how ridiculously two-faced the guy is. It's like, one minute he's like trying to bow down to you and try to have you shed mercy on him, then the very next second he's bitching at you for how you ruined his reputation, when it's like, that was your fault to begin with.
You were the only one in charge of your reputation. Nobody had any libel or slander on you. Everything that everyone has said is just basically echoing things that you did and you said, but just showing it to everyone else. You ruined yourself. You have only yourself to blame.
But what's really funny is that I remember quite a lot of other people, you know, used to do this. Like, I remember, you know, when Joshua was relevant, he was doing the same thing. And what's funny, Kenshi hates Joshua. He hates Joshua because he thinks he's a babbling moron when it's like, I'm sorry, how about you show me those walls of text and let's see if I can find one shred of intelligence in anything in that paragraph.
And two, Joshua, here's the thing, I think Joshua has a little bit more of coherence than him, and yet Joshua is younger than him.
Honestly,
that's sad. So...
yeah, that is sad.
That is sad.
And what's also depressing is that Josh is also autistic.
Yet he doesn't let that stop him.
Exactly.
Which is actually somewhat admirable, because no matter what people say around him, as long as he's fucking getting attention, he'll keep doing what he's doing. Not even giving a shit as to what people say.
That's basically what he's been doing with his videos nowadays. He doesn't even give a shit anymore. He's just making videos for the sake of making videos. But with Kenshi, whenever you say anything about his shit, it's always excuse after goddamn excuse. It's like, dude, why don't you just live up to the fact that you fucked up?
It would be more admirable if you did.
And it's like, I could totally see him now. Oh, well, you fucked up too. Well, you see, here's the difference. I will admit that I've made my share of mistakes. I believe we all have. Like, how about we each name at least one mistake that we believe we made? Like, how about you, Raven?
I'm trying to think of one, because I made a lot.
He has an archive.
I'm going to say probably one of the biggest mistakes that I did was my first commentary, because I did it on Joshua, and I honestly regret that commentary. Because to be honest, it's like, I even knew back then that Joshua was a lost cause. I only really did that commentary because it was easy, and to be honest, it wasn't even, there weren't that many faults, and essentially it was me just kind of, you know, harping on him. It wasn't honestly that good.
You think that was bad? I did a commentary on Gligar for my first commentary.
Oh... I know exactly where
you're
going on with there. Because I fucking did that, and oh my god. But yeah, but although, honestly, if there's one thing that I can say is worse than that video I made, it have to be the days when I was a fucking recolor. Oh my god. My origin story is that I was a sensitive little fuck back in the day. It's like, I used to do these little MS Paint animations entitled Sonic on Crack, based off of a Pivot animation series called Stick Figures on Crack, and it's like...
Oh my god, I used to watch those!
Yeah, and it's like, when people gave at least the slightest negative comment, I would throw a bitch fit. I started flame wars. I sicked my fans at people. I think the worst part about me from back in the days is that the way that I decided to go back at the trolls, those or the critics that day, is that I thought it was a good idea to take videos from Big Al 2K6 and quote them verbatim and it's like, then I think everything changed when I made my first commentary. Yeah, it was on a troll, Billy the Hedgehog 1, but you know, I can at least admit that, but it's like, I basically looked at that video, and then it hit me. I'm like, holy shit, that was me. That was me back in the days, and I just thought I had to fucking change myself. I had to start over with a new slate, and basically that just ended up turning into, well, the person you hear right now. I changed from those days, and that's the thing, Kenshi. While me, SirRaven, and Scarlet may have made our mistakes, here's the thing. We've admitted to our mistakes. We've admitted that we fucked up, and we've attempted to fix ourselves to make sure we don't do it again. We learn from our mistakes. You don't.
And if I could also say something too, when you did that Sonic on Crack series, how old were you exactly?
I think I was just entering middle school, so I think when I hit 14.
So essentially Realm was like 14, 15, and he's acting like this, which I don't want to excuse it, but 14, 15-year-old acting like this on the internet, it's not surprising.
We have that by the dozens nowadays.
But the thing is, too, it's like, when I see Realm acting like this, it's like, well, he's 14, 15. Yeah, it's completely stupid, but kind of almost expected. But with Kenshi's age? Like, really?
No, what's even more depressing, I figured this shit out when I was 16. Kenshi is 23, and he's still yet to figure out why he's fucked up.
It's just sad. I mean, even we still make mistakes today, but at least, you know, people let us know and we don't bitch about it.
I know, it's like, yeah, we're not perfect ourselves. We'll make the occasional mistake, but we'll admit to it. Where are you admitting your faults?
And here's the really sad thing about it, is that usually you've got yourself pretty much geared for how you're going to exactly work on things and how you're going to develop by the time you're 24, 25. And Kenshi is almost there. And if he still hasn't figured out how the world works, if he doesn't learn by then, he's probably never going to learn. And that's the sad thing.
And basically, that's one of the things that I fear, because it's like, we have quite a lot of people like that nowadays, where it's like, they're so fucking dependent on the things they want, and the minute they don't have it, they treat it like their entire life is over. And it's like, why are you doing this? We just said your fanfiction was shit. There's no reason to make the noose.
Oh my dear God.
But he does anyway, and then that makes his reputation worse and worse and worse. It's a continuing spiral down.
He just reminds me of so many other people that I know that I unfortunately used to date, too.
And like, basically it's like this. When you ruin your own reputation, guess what? You won't be able to blame me for it. You can't blame Keith for it. You can't blame Scarlet for it. You can't blame Jen for it. The only one who's in charge of your own image is yourself. You're painting this image for yourself.
And just everyone's looking at it.
I'm sorry, go on ahead.
And then, no, go ahead. You first. Ladies first.
Thank you.
No. Don't you mean woman first?
Wow,
Woman, get in the
okay.
kitchen and make me a sandwich, damn it. Fuck you, bitch! Anyway, I tried to talk to Telma, but guess what? The only thing that actually happened was immediately, Kenshi was the first one to see all those comments that I left for Telma, and he deleted them all.
Yeah, he did, and he even told me that he did that too, because it's like, who is she to say anything of this?
I'm a random person that you don't know, and you're like, don't comment that on me.
And not only that, I just find that so fucking pretentious. It's like, oh, so because this random person decided to go up and tell your sister these red flags that she saw, all of a sudden you're treating her as like all she means to you is some outside entity whose words don't mean a thing to you?
Well, it's also another red flag that he actually does want to fuck his own sister.
Yeah, no, what I find is another red flag is how quick he was to delete that shit. Like, he did not want anyone seeing that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Fair.
Well, that's why it's
Yeah,
a fucking big red flag.
Yeah, it's like, Kenshi, you're not helping yourself by hiding this shit. We can see it, but you tell us this. What's dumb about it? You tell us this shit.
And And the thing too is the fact that if you delete this stuff, it only makes it worse because we know then that you're trying to hide it. But you're doing such a crap job of hiding it. It's eventually going to get out. The internet is forever.
Exactly. It's like the people who complain about, their photos getting leaked on the internet when it's like, you have your Facebook page linked to your YouTube. Gee, I wonder how they got a picture of you.
Or they wonder why naked pictures ever get on the internet. Like, at all.
I mean, it's like, if you're the person who took a picture of yourself naked, waving your dick around at the camera, and you post it on the internet, and people have to get their hands on it, guess what? It's your fault for putting it there in the first place.
You wouldn't have this problem if you never put it up on the internet. People are mean, people are cruel, and they're not always going to do the right thing. Which is funny that I'm telling Kenshi this, because he's mean and he's cruel and he doesn't do the right things. So it's like, it's no wonder that people are going to get their hands on certain things.
Yeah, like that one picture of your sister that I used in the video. I found that because it was public. That's why I used it. And besides, even with that picture, it's not like it was anything suggestive. She was just making a cute little heart hand gesture in front of her face. Like, really, how is that an invasion of privacy?
And you suggested to take a picture of her, to take one of the pictures from DeviantArt. I don't really see the difference.
There is no difference. There essentially is no difference. And before Kenshi actually starts complaining, by the time that he finishes this video, if he starts complaining again as to why Realm made this video, or as to why he said these things, it's your own fucking fault because you brought all this upon yourself. We're free to speak our minds, and if you try to shut us out, we will speak our minds even louder.
Scarlet, you're giving Kenshi too much credit. He didn't even watch the first video.
He's probably not going to watch this one.
Pretty much. It's like, he's
I
not going to finish.
He watched the whole entire thing, and then he just, like, rages.
No, he didn't, because he later on admitted to Hoff that he never watched the video. He just looked at the description, he's like, ugh.
Oh, wow.
Which is weird, because remember in that conversation that you had, you said, listen, I heard all the insults you were saying in that video, and I laughed. It's like, but I thought you said that you didn't watch the video.
That, and isn't the entire thing you were bitching at me for was insulting you, so why are you laughing?
And also, if you're, bitching about the fact that you're insulting him, you didn't watch the video, so...
Yeah. Or you clearly don't know me that well. Because I've done this shit before, and you were nowhere to be found.
I think that maybe we've covered every single little thing there is to cover on this topic.
Honestly, I think we have, but it's like, I'm definitely gonna know, see Kenshi's like, oh, you're getting your toadies in again to do your dirty work for you, when it's like this. The reason I let them in the video is not just because I want them to say my thoughts for me. No, I can do that myself, and I damn well do it. It's like, I bring them into the videos because they feel they have something to say, and you know what? I'm making a video on this. Why not add them in here to give their perspective on this? Because, I'm kind of a considerate guy like that with some people. Because, well, not with some people, at certain occasions, because it's like, hey, if you really want to make a video about this, and since I'm making a video on it too, hey, why not join me in a rant video if you think that's necessary? Granted, there are times where I won't do it because I feel like doing something solo, but when I see an opportunity to get people together in a video, I go ahead and do it. Same thing as to how you've collabed in other videos. So what? I guess those are toadies too, because oh, they're speaking your words.
That is something that too about, because like, I asked Realm to be in this call after what he told me. I asked to be in this. He
begged on all fours and he was like, please!
Well, no, I said
I will explode!
Whoa, hold on there. Essentially what happened was like, listen, Realm, I want to get in this call, and he's like, okay. I'm like, no, you understand. We need to talk about this, and I want to throw objects. I will throw objects now.
And honestly, I'm like, dude, go right the fuck ahead, because I know how much this irritated you, how much you wanted to get this out there. Here you go. Early birthday present.
But it's stupid concerning the fact that it's like, just because you agree with someone doesn't make you a toady. That's stupid. If we were honestly going to say that, then practically everyone in the world is a toady of someone else.
Yeah, which is funny, because this is coming from the guy who basically agrees with every little thing Brawl Fan 1 says.
Yeah, with absolutely no questioning, no logic input on his own. Just
Exactly.
accepts it.
Yeah, he just accepts it because it's Brawl fan. So anyway, I believe we basically said everything, but if you guys feel like needing to sum up anything more, just say your final thoughts here.
I guess...
Raven, I have to ask you, what is
Yeah?
Icelandic for Kenshi as a dickweed?
We can't. You're not even allowed to say Kenshi in Icelandic. That's too naughty of a word for Icelandic.
He's not worthy.
He's not worthy for me to speak the beautiful language of Icelandic upon him. He don't get
Can you
that.
speak any other language that you don't find worthy?
Every language.
I could say that definitely he's a pendejo. We can say that.
Pendejo?
Spanish for dickhead.
Mennonite. I'm glad he agrees with us too.
Yo soy Mennonite, tú eres pendejo. I'm sorry, wait,
Thank you, Hispanics.
I'm sorry, it would be tu eres pendejo. Now roll that out.
Oh my
I
God.
can't.
Anyway, I guess those are your thoughts, Scarlet. Well, yeah, what about you, Raven?
Yeah, that's pretty much, that is pretty much it. I'll have to say about Kenshi. And I barely even knew Kenshi before I did the reading with Hobbs and Realm Wars. But now, like, all this stuff that I've heard about, it's insane. And congratulations, Kenshi. I think you're honestly the worst person that I've heard about in the year 2013. Ward! Yay!
Yo!
And it's like, honestly, I think to end my piece off, I'm going to quote Keith on something that, honestly, he summed it up better than I could. When someone was trying to come up with adjectives for Kenshi, they brought up hypocritical, twisted, unimaginative, and a moron. He basically said, not enough adjectives. Gotta add manipulative, egocentric, self-absorbed, self-destructive, and nerf herder, because he's rather scruffy looking.
Oh, God bless Keith.
I believe that's it. And yeah, Kenshi, if you're gonna start going on another bitch fit about this, well, guess what? It's like you said that one chat I was in. I honestly stopped giving a shit about being nice to you. So really, what do you expect from me now? You're gonna act like a fucking 5-year-old? I gotta treat you like one. So I guess this is Realm Wars the Second.
This has been the bitch with the cannon known as ScarletOtaku saying sayonara.
And until next time, this has been Mr.SirRaven saying bless and chop, 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 chop.
And cue the Hawaii 5-0 theme.